Okay, and now I'm going to share here. And I've got my screen on here so I can share my PowerPoint. And what I'm going to share here is how I found God. And one of the things that I did I'm Glenn, I'm a compulsive overeater. I've been through Alcoholics Anonymous, I've been through Narcotics Anonymous. So I'm familiar with 3 of the 12-step programs, and I've been in recovery since 2012, September 4th of 2012. My first idea of God was when I was really, really little, and I did a phone call with a lady who asked me 5 questions, and the questions, what they did was they made me realize that my very first idea of God was the person who took care of me from the time I was born. Because at that point in my life, I was totally helpless, 100% dependent on someone else, just like we need to learn to depend on God again. Um, and depending on how that caregiver was with you, that has taught you who God is to you. And if you had a very loving and nurturing home, you're going to have an idea of God is loving and nurturing. If you had any kind of dysfunction in your family growing up or with your primary caregiver, um, you're going to have a feeling like I had. My feeling was that my mom was unaccepting. She was judgmental. She was hypercritical. I never felt like I could do anything right. I was always wrong, and whenever I did anything wrong, I was afraid of being punished. And I was afraid to tell the truth because I learned that when I told the truth, I was going to get punished. Because even if I did something wrong and I told the truth about it, I got punished anyway. So I learned to not tell the truth because it was painful to tell the truth. Um, and then when I got religious instruction, and I get there to Sunday school and they're telling me, that God is loving and caring and nurturing and I'm like, no, he's not. You can't tell me he's like that. So when I look at my family religion, uh, I I put on a smiling face and I listen to it and I learn it because all these people are big and they must know what they're talking about. So I think, okay, I'm just a stupid little kid. I don't know anything, so I better listen to them. Besides that, they feed me and take care of me, and I got to do what they say, right? But inside, I know there's something not right about it. I don't know what it is. I can't even talk about it because when I learned that, I didn't even have language yet. I was too little to even say what was wrong and why I thought there was something missing if something was wrong. So I, put on the face that I was supposed to, but inside I'm just like very unhappy and I don't know why. And that feeling has stayed with me my whole life because there's just been something missing. Something missing. Um, and what I did to find my higher power was I found my higher power. I continue finding my higher power, but I had to be honest about how my ideas about God were working. Every idea I've had about a power greater than me, about God, about the ruler of the universe, great spirit, um, any of the other names that God has, I've tried all of them, and I just could never make any of them work. The God of the religion I grew up in, I tried and tried and tried. I could not make that God work. Just would not work. Um, I had to be open-minded about it, looking at my old ideas. And when I started saying, you know what, maybe I need to find some something like outside of what the religion I was raised in. And I thought about, like listening to other spiritual teachers. And I was scared to do that because, if I stepped away from the religion I was in, is God gonna smote me or something like that? I was really afraid of doing that. I was afraid of my parents ostracizing me. I was afraid of my family turning their backs on me. Um, I can remember when Muhammad Ali changed religions to Islam. I thought, what a traitor! He was Christian and now he turned Islam. And I thought, and I was very judgmental about that. So I couldn't see myself, not that I was going to turn Islam, but I couldn't see myself leaving the religion that I grew up in. But I had to be willing to change my ideas because the ideas I had, God, were not working. I kept relapsing, and relapsing on food. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And one day, I was given this idea. And the idea is that I wondered how many world religions were there and what were the populations of each one. And I don't know where this idea came from, but I did not come up with it by research. It came to me. So when I looked at how many world religions were, I just looked at the top 12. And a total, there's 8.28 billion people in this world. And the religion that I was raised in over here is really right now the largest one with the most people. But the thing with the one that I'm in is that we're affiliated with this other one who claims that they are God's chosen people. And because we believe in one of the prophets that was one of their kind, we believe in him. So we figure we get to be with number one by proxy. So we're kind of clumped together, stuck together somehow. But when I looked at that, I'm like, gosh, that is a lot of people. So I thought, how could any God that I believe in, do this? Here's the religion that I'm in, along with that other one. And any God that I can believe in is what my religion taught me was that 73% of the population of the world is unacceptable in the junk. And that God doesn't care about them, and God throws them away. In favor of the 22% here, or 27%, I can't do math. So God is going to choose this group here above everyone else and throw everyone away. Throw all these other people away. I can't believe in a God that would do that. The God of my understanding loves everyone, regardless of what religion they're in. Everyone. And religions are man-made. They're not made by God. He didn't make any of those. So I just can't. I believe the God of my understanding is above all that. He has nothing to do with religions. He doesn't choose one over the other. He chooses each individual and loves each individual. He doesn't have anything that divides us. Nothing. All the divisions are all man-made. And God did not create that. Man did. When I figured out how many alcoholic types there are in the world, 10% of the 8.28 billion is 8.28 million, but 80% of those are not even going to work the program. Only 20% are going to do something. So that 20%, that's 164 million worldwide. I think this is a God wink. because it's 164 million. That's how many pages there are in the instruction part of the big book, is 164. And I'm taking that as a God wink, that I'm on the right track. So, when I talk about the big book, it has been translated into 71 different languages. So throughout the whole world, people have access to the big book. Alcoholics are spread out around the whole world, and every religion, every country, all these languages have access to this book, because there's people worldwide who are trying to beat this addiction, who are trying to find the solution to a problem they cannot solve. And it makes me think that those people in Russia or in China or in Brazil or in Malaysia or in India, if they have the alcoholic problem, whether it be alcohol or drugs or gambling or food, they all are looking for the same solution that I am, that we all are. And I figure that 164 million people worldwide are all on the same quest to find, what does it say in the big book? The purpose of this book is to enable you to find that power greater than you that can solve your problem. And that is in 71 different languages worldwide. All these people worldwide are working to find the power that'll help. I had to change my ideas about God. I had to leave behind religion that I was taught in. And, when I stepped away to look at other spiritual teachings, and I wondered if God was going to smote me, I had like one thought was, we didn't teach you that. That's not who we are. That wasn't God talking. That was my mom talking. She was my first idea of God. And now I realize that I had been listening to a voice that was not God's. I didn't know it wasn't God's. But now I found a connection with God, because I'm open-minded enough to look globally and to think everybody on the planet is under God's care and protection. And He wants everyone on the whole planet to find Him. And you know what? Everybody's looking for the same thing. We're all looking for the same thing, that missing piece. That missing piece that has egged me on and bothered me until I can't stop eating or can't stop drinking. But now that I found this piece, I know what Bill W. is talking about when he said he had this great white light experience and that he was rocketed into the fourth dimension, because I have experienced that, being rocketed in the fourth dimension. And I cannot hardly believe, why me? Why me? But now that I've had this experience, I have the desire, not just the desire, but the urge to tell everybody who will listen. Because this is not just something that's going to help people in Overeaters Anonymous. This is going to help people in all 12-step programs. This is going to help alcoholics that haven't been able to find their higher power. This is going to help drug addicts who haven't been able to find their higher power. This is going to help codependents who haven't been able to find a higher power. It's going to help people who are hoarders to find their higher power. This will work in all 12-step programs. And you know why? It's because everybody has said, oh, it's a step 2 problem if you can't find a higher power. And this is what hangs us up right here. The religion that we are raised in, every one of us who's born into one of these religions, we are all taught, this is who you are, this is where you belong. You don't belong over there with them guys. We are number one. Not them, we are. But we're all pointing at each other saying, No, we're number one. No, we're number one. And we all think we're number one because that's what our parents have taught us. And on down the ages, generation after generation after generation after generation. This is just unbelievable that I have been gifted with an idea like this that is just such a gift. And I cannot wait to share this with everybody else who has had the same thing I got. And I am just so happy that I've been able to share this tonight. And anybody that has any questions, oh gosh, I don't know. I haven't told this story anywhere. This is my first time recording it. And if my exuberance is really taken away from it, I don't know how it could. Because you know what? When you get the fruit of the Spirit going, you can't stop it. And you don't want to. Hey, you know what else? God says it's time to play because we forgot how to play. And that's one of the things that I make sure to do every day is play. Woo-hoo! I love it. I love it. I love it. Whee! Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop my share.